And in Tanzania, we can say that about 75% the workforce is in agriculture sector, and about 28% there is a contribution to GDP, that's gross domestic product to the economy, and about 90% is food requirements from agriculture.
When you talk about institutions that have invested in human resources with sufficient knowledge and skills, you can never leave out the Tanzanian Prison Service. It is an institution that, due to its specific role of providing safe custody for prisoners and correcting their bad behavior so that they become good citizens once they complete their sentences, has been employing various experts in the field of science and social sciences. In confirming what I'm saying, this expert Senior Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, Dr. Uswege Mwakahesya, whom PHQ Habari had the opportunity to visit in his office and conduct an interview with him as follows.
Dr. Uswege Mwakahesya. I'm working with Tanzania Prison Service. I'm heading the section of prison industries at the headquarters. My history in short, I'm coming from the region, and I started the primary school in the region and secondary in the region. Then later on I joined the tertiary institution, the laptop training institution at Mwakahesya in Dodoma region. I earned a certificate in animal health and production. Then I joined with the Tanzania Prison Service. Then my appointment for the first time was in Panda, that is Rukwa region, currently is Katavi region. And later on I started the diploma in animal health in Tangero prison at Tangero. Livestock Institute in Arusha, and after completing there, I had a transfer from Katavi, that at that time was Rukwa, and to Morogoro region. And after that, I joined the University of Agriculture, School University of Agriculture, where I started agriculture economics and agribusiness. Yes, after completing there, I turned to my working place, that is Bigiri Prison, which is located at Dakawa, that's in Vomero district in Morogoro region. Then later on, I was transferred to headquarters, where I was positioned at the department of agriculture and livestock at headquarters in Dar es Salaam at that time. Then I worked there for a number of years. So I stayed. I worked for 13 years in that section. Then at that time I was transferred to research and statistics, where I headed that section. After that, and that is a history in working conditions which are in prisons. About academic, after completing at the university, School University of Agriculture, I joined with the master's program in Zimbabwe. I was sponsored by World Bank. Then I did my master's in public sector management and specializing in entrepreneurship. Then after completing my studies in Zimbabwe, at that time I was advised by my lecturers to go to United States to pursue a PhD program. But at that time I was not ready to do that. And so I returned back in my country. Then after coming back to my country, then I got a scholarship to United Kingdom where I studied also the livestock and agriculture, in modern agriculture, and utilizing how to use the tractors, how to test the soil or whatever. So I completed there certificate level 3 in that country. And in that country, I got an opportunity to visit some prisons in United Kingdom. Those prisons, so I learned how they operate compared to ourselves in Tanzania. So we Tanzania, we are based in the Commonwealth countries, that is in how to manage the prisons. So I visited some prisons there, and I studied what they are doing, and so I got the knowledge which they are using there, and I come back with the knowledge how to improve and rehabilitate those inmates. Coming to agriculture economics. First of all, what is agriculture economics? So sometimes agriculture economics is just the field which focus on the allocation of land, distribution, and other resources, including environmental issues. So the allocation of those scarce resources, and so it's to maximize the potentials in whatever you are doing, specifically in sector of agriculture, towards our economy. And in Tanzania, we can say that about 75% the workforce is in agriculture sector, and about 28% there is a contribution to GDP, that's gross domestic product to the economy. And about 90% is food requirements from agriculture. So we can say, we are saying that agriculture is the backbone of our country economy. And coming to our department as prison department, we have got a mandate of casting the prisoners, and when they are staying in prisons, we use to rehabilitate them, to change their mindset, because most of them, according to research which I conducted research, it's a high percentage of criminals in prisons are economic in nature, and some are psychological, but most of are economic in nature. So we have got a number of projects in prisons over the country, where we used to rehabilitate, to teach them, to impart skills and knowledge how to utilize the resources, particularly in agriculture and animal husbandry. So in livestock keeping and poultry farming and others. So because myself, I'm an expert on those areas. So in any angle, I used to share with my colleagues how to modernize the agriculture, particularly for prisoners when they are staying in prisons, and when they are released in prisons. So it means we are assuming that they can go back to their home areas, so that they can use the knowledge they obtained in prisons. Because mindset, I said, when we change them, there is a negative mindset of committing crime, that is stealing or doing whatever. But they can do agriculture in a positive manner. That's when they are also the income. Yes.
Thank you for your elaboration. And of course, you have a lot of fields, but among of them is the agricultural economy.
Yes.
So I would like to know, maybe the viewers and the listeners would want to know the connection between agriculture and the economy. Why agricultural economy?
Okay. Agriculture is dealing with the crops. Economy is allocations. They will send allocation to the agriculture, how to maximize the agriculture to be in positive way, then to be a potential to maximize whatever we're saying that. Yeah.
And of course, when you are talking about agriculture, you mean some food.
Exactly.
And by nature, every human beings depends on
food to survive.
Yes.
So without agriculture,
Yes.
means there is no food.
Exactly.
So we need some food to survive.
Yes.
Do you think that in our context we live, the agriculture has enabled us to reach that position?
Yes. Of course, we are still working on it, because as I said before, I said agriculture is the backbone of our economy, and we are still modernizing because there are a number of challenges which are facing agriculture. For instance, in those years there was no any modern working tools, equipment, but for the time being, so as to maximize the potentials of areas of potential for agriculture. That's why even the country is investing in agriculture. Now we have established agriculture, Tanzania Agriculture Development Bank. These are initiatives by the government. That in those years we didn't have a bank dealing with agriculture. But for the time being, even those small farmers, big farmers, those they can secure loans from those banks, and they can, even myself, I'm expecting to secure the loans from the Agriculture Development Bank, so that they can utilize this land, because we're saying in Africa the agriculture is a main pillar of the economy.
Yes, you have said that the agriculture has contributed a lot to raise the income of Africans, but you know, most of Africans till now depends on agriculture, but still we tend that the poor people. Why?
Okay, this is some are the policies, and some there are a number of challenges. For instance, climate change. Because as I told you that I started working with the Tanzania prison in Banda, that in those days we are used to calculate that in that month we are being a rainy season. It was there, specifically dates. But for the time being, as you see even in Dodoma, now you said the situation, the climate change is factors which affected the agricultural sector.
Yes, we have that scenario of a climate change,
Yes.
and I think we have a lot of experts on this field.
Yes.
Do you think that participate enough so that make the agriculture to move forward?
Yes, that's why even the country strategies or initiative is to introduce agriculture, because we say everywhere the water bodies. For instance, in Africa, I think Tanzania is the second country with the water bodies. So we've got rivers, we've got the lakes. So I think that when we are saying how to overcome this climate change, to introduce irrigation schemes in different areas. As now we've got better building for tomorrow, is that project is just an initiative which initiated by the government on that. Yeah.
But you are an expert on this area.
Yes.
But most of the people, especially in rural areas, are blaming and complaining that the experts are not participate in those areas. Means they do not go there to help the farmers so that to utilize the land effectively and in a modern way. What's the reason behind?
You know, psychological view, most of for instance, these generations, when they graduate in what levels of their academics in agriculture, most they prefer to stay in towns. But this, I think, my request to the government is just to insist on that the economy is in rural areas. The economy is in rural areas. Because when you go to Mtwara, when you go to where, we've got a fertile land, a potential land. So the means is the policies how to strengthen in those areas of policies so that we can promote this generation go to in village. And for the time being, you know, those the social issues in those areas. For instance, those years there was no electricity, but for the time being there is electricity. So they can use those potentials to based on agriculture. And last week I was in Katavi region. I observed in those areas, you know, in remote areas, a number of people, even the guests are there. So it means now people are working upon that even rural areas they can utilize those areas in helping economy to their families and the other social issues.
But now I'd like to know what to do to make our scholars to have the positive mind that they can live in the villages, the farmers, instead of having the mindset of living in towns and cities, because the farmers are found in villages, in rural areas, not in towns. So what can we do?
I think it's a matter of sensitization and educating people and the school and the other those who are just preferring to go in towns to go in the village. So to do this project, even the government can do that. So even myself, because I've got an initiative which I have established a proposal which I'm going to send it, but it's not a time for it. It's a very good proposal. Those are incubation centers in every regions for entrepreneurial skills. So entrepreneurial skills, particularly in agriculture or resources, basing on the specific particular regions or district. So I think this one can work and can bring a good outcomes. Yes.
What about the issue of markets? Because the farmers maybe can produce a lot of crops, but still they don't have enough markets to sell their products. You as an agricultural economist,
yes.
Do we have enough market to sell our products in that sense?
Okay, according to the globalizations, and I think now Africa is the most popular in agriculture, and Europeans or other continents they depend. They say we are saying agriculture in Africa is only the remaining a virgin land in Africa. So I think it's a matter of policies and supervisions on those policies and strengthening those policies so that you can modernize the agriculture and link the market. Because when we have a backward linkage and forward linkages in agriculture, I think the market will be there. Because when a farmer or a farmer can produce and can know the market in advance, and we say there are some contract farming. Yes, for instance, avocado has got a market, yes. And then other products. For instance, the government has started the initiative of strengthening the crop of palm oil production. And palm oil production, the consumption of national consumption is about 60,050 tons per year, but we are importing about 360,000 tons per year, and we are producing about 290,000 tons per year. You see? So, but the market is there. So I think in near future, as the government started doing that, I think the sector of agriculture will contribute more to GDP.
But you are willing to enter that competition because even Europe or United States of America are able to enter in the agricultural competition, because as I know, most of the nations in this world engage in agriculture, and not only to engage in agriculture, but to use the modern agriculture. Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible.
How?
Just a series of initiative. You know, I remember when I was in the United Kingdom, I visited some farms and some industries, factories, those who are manufacturing the tools and equipment for agriculture, even tractors and whatever. I think when we are going to invest in agriculture and the policies being placed, I think we can manage it, because we are saying in agriculture it's not a desert area. We've got a number of, as I said, water bodies is there. For instance, in our country, you know, you see Lake Victoria, the water, you can utilize it. Lake Tanganyika also can utilize it, and the rivers, you can utilize them. So I think it is possible. It's a matter of decision and strengthening what you decided.
But the climate change is very terrible, and not only in Africa, but all over the world.
Yes.
But even though we have this calamity,
Yes.
but there is a way on how to move forward.
Yes.
And as you say that we have a lot of rivers,
Yes.
lakes,
Yes.
so we have to shift
Yes.
from this normal agriculture,
Rain-fed agriculture.
yes,
Yeah.
to come to the irrigated
Exactly.
agriculture.
Yes.
But do you think that it's possible to have that kind of agriculture?
Yes, it's possible. It's a matter of investment. When we invest in, for example, they have machines for irrigations and tractors and combine harvesters. I think we can do that. It is possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you say that the agriculture still being a backbone of our national
Economy.
income.
Yeah.
And most of the young people or younger generation
Yes.
not prefer to engage in agriculture. Though I've studied from various colleges and universities, they have a high level of education, but still they ignore the agriculture. So what can we do to make these younger people to prefer the agriculture as the base of our income?
Okay, thank you. I think for this financial year, that 2024-2025, the government have initiated better building, better tomorrow. It's a project. Even if you see the document, and it's very nice, very comprehensive and very clear document. And also, if it is going to be implemented as it was planned in those years to come, I think those young can change their mindset and prefer the agriculture. But because even ourselves in those years, we didn't know that agriculture is a meaningful for our life. But everything is in agriculture. Well, we are saying that as economists, we say land is everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of researches, and most of the scholars have done the researches, but unfortunately, those researches are not used effectively. The reason behind why do we use the political idea? We are very talkative. We are not action-oriented. The reason behind, I need your views as an expert of this area.
Okay. I think, as I said before, the matter is to sympathize and to to be serious on that. We are saying that the way you plan today to be tomorrow is the way you be. We are saying that God provided us 2 days, that yesterday which you present previous, and today is today, and tomorrow
will be tomorrow.
is tomorrow. But tomorrow we don't know. But when you plan today, that yesterday I was like that one. Yesterday I was there. So I want to move from yesterday. Tomorrow I want to not to differ from what I set as I have. I think we can do that. Individually and as an institution and even the country. Because everything is there. We've got a lot of resources. When you say resources, a number of resources, which we are saying that money is not the currency, as you say, shillings or 20 shillings. Money is an idea. And idea, when you change the idea, you change it into money. And changing the idea into money is working on it, being serious. Being there something and doing something is a different issue. There are two issues. There are potentials, and how to raise those potentials. There are two different scenarios.
But we stuck on this area, and I don't know why, Mr. Mwakahesya. Because now let me use your experience.
Yes.
Of course, you have visited a lot of nations,
Yes.
even studying abroad.
Yes.
So I would like to know why the whites are moving forward quickly more than the black people. And of course, we Africans, we still blaming for white that because we were under the near rates, just why we are very poor. But for about 60 years of independence, we still blaming and complaining.
Okay.
Is it necessary?
Yeah. I think the matter is focusing. Focusing. When you focus somewhere, something, then you want to be positive, it can be. As a scientific, when you take the lens, there's a convex or whatever, concave lens. When you put it concentrate, it can create what? A fire.
Yes.
Let's say you concentrate to bring a result. If you are scattered, your ideas are scattered, you can't do anything. Those white, I think, because I visited them when I asked some of them, they told them, we are focusing in some issues and to bring that, it must bring a result. Yes. So even a human being as you, because those are human beings and we are human beings. And the education...
Maybe we differ in terms of psychological thinking.
No, yes. You know, the education system which was introduced to us is a challenge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Because when we started, I think we started drawing the grasshopper, labeling the grasshopper. How can help you? Yes. So, and mentioning that the longest river in Africa is Nile, and what is the impact on your life? But nowadays, even the government have changed, even the syllabus have changed to focusing on the issues which we are facing. That's good. Even the government, for the time being, you said even the syllabus have been changed towards what the situation we are facing and how to observe them, how to mitigate those challenges.
To remove the element of prefer the white color jobs.
Yes,
color jobs.
Yes.
Now let us come on our institutions,
Yes.
Tanzania Prisons Service.
Yeah.
As you know, Doctor,
Yes.
our institutions has a lot of projects,
Yes.
including agriculture.
Yes.
And of course, the agriculture has been used to raise the income of the institutions,
Yes.
not only to raise the income of institutions, but also
Yes.
to rehabilitate the
Yes.
prisoners.
Yes.
So I would like to know the impact of agriculture in our institutions.
Okay. I think the impact nowadays, even, I don't know the data for the time being, I think when you compare those past years compared to now, I think now we are improving. So we are still working on it. We are improving in those scenarios that for productions and the impact relating to our mandate, that is rehabilitations. That's why recent, I think it was March, we have introduced some programs that will rehabilitate inmates and to provide certificates, so to be recognized in their areas when they are released from prisons. Also, we are working with other institutions and other institutions so that we can cooperate with them, in cooperation with them to provide those certificates so they can be eligible to be employed or whatever they can do in their localities. And I think the agriculture, because we have provided and we have purchased a number of weapons. No. The agriculture implements for the tractors and whatever, so to improve the agriculture and to have a food self-sufficiency for inmates.
Yeah, in our institutions we have agricultural strategic prisons.
Yes.
What the reason behind to have these prisons?
The reason behind, as I said, when you have got a lens, then you put somewhere, it concentrates those rays to bring a fire. The same applied when you have a strategic sites or projects, then they can bring a result compared to scattering those resources. Yeah,
let me ask you another questions, especially for the issue of staffs. And the institutions has been recruiting many skilled agricultural experts.
Yes.
So I would like to know the contribution of these experts in our institution.
Okay, I think the contribution is to advise the modern agriculture in those areas. That's why they are being allocated in different places in the prisons, so as to advance particularly in agriculture. Yes.
What about the issue of modern tools? Do we have enough modern tools in our institution so that we make sure that the agriculture to move forward?
Okay, now that's another challenge. We don't have enough tools and in agriculture. That's even the government and is working on it so as to provide those equipment for prison department and to improve the agricultural productions. Yes.
And of course, we are talking about the issue of irrigation at the national level. So I'd like to know the situation of irrigation in this institution.
Yes, there are some projects which are ongoing progress for the irrigation schemes to be constructed. Yeah.
How do we deal with the climate change? The global climate.
Yes, that's introducing these irrigation schemes. That's a mitigation of climate change. Because climate change being inadequate and adverse conditions. For instance, earlier I said before, for instance, in the Dodoma region, as we observed this year, people are crying that their crops have dried according to the climate change. Yeah.
You are an expert on agricultural economy.
Yes.
And of course, you have said that the institutions has been using the agriculture to rehabilitate the prisoners.
Exactly.
Yes, but I'd like to understand the issue of capital because the prisoners can finish their sentences, but still they lack the capital. How the issue of capital can affect the prisoners to engage in those agricultural activities?
Yes, of course, it is a challenge. And we have started by introducing the certificates to the prisoners. So in near future, I hope that we are going to meet those challenges. That's providing the equipment based on what he learned or she learned in prisons. For example, there are some prisons particularly for agriculture and some prisons particularly for industries. So when they are working with the factories, they can be equipped with the carpentry tools, and also are working with agriculture, they will be equipped with those agriculture tools so that they can, when they go they go back to their home countries after completing their sentences, they can utilize the knowledge and skills obtained from prisons.
Yes. And of course, you said about the issue of palm oil. In Kigoma, they call it michikichi, migazi,
yes.
Michikichi.
Yeah.
And of course, you were head of prison, Kitanga.
Exactly.
So, and the government has chosen this Kitanga prison to be the center of michikichi, exactly. Of palm oil.
Yes.
So, what is the situation for this project?
Situation is good because that even myself I can that I got a rigors on this project because when I went there, the plantation was 1,100 acres of palm oil trees, and we cultivated about 750 acres, and we have already planted, and others now they are producing. And our Honorable Prime Minister, Kasumajaliwa, went there to inaugurate the new variety that is, we call it Tenera, and myself I was there. So that's my nowadays the trees are producing those farmers. Yeah, it's good.
So the issue of market?
There's a market. Market is there. Sometimes some are from DRC and Rwanda, the neighboring countries, they come to purchase there.
How long to produce the products from this palm oil since planted? Does not take a long time?
Yes, a long time. Because the process from planting the seeds is 1 year and 8 months.
Yeah.
And after planting, there's a transplant in a field from nurseries. It takes about 3 years. And what I have said, it was inaugurated. Even our Prime Minister planted a tree which he planted in 2020. Now, the fruits are there. Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Mwakahesya.
Yes.
And of course, we have discussed a lot of issues, and I enjoyed the way you have elaborated.
Okay, thank you.
You are expert. You are very competent.
Thank you.
Not only to be competent, but also you are head of these sections.
Yes.
So when we are going to conclude our discussion,
yes.
I would like to know the challenges you face as the head of this section, of this institution.
Okay, the challenge I face in head of this section is the capital, because we have got a number of factories, but the issue is the capital. Even here we've got the new factory that capital factory which is at Msalato here. But we are lacking the capital. But we are not reluctant on that. We are working on it. When you fail plan A, you find plan B. Because as I said that every problem has got an opportunity. Every problem you can work on the problem, you find you get the money. So when we are working it, and the government, I think in next financial year, I think we are going to get the support from the central government. Yeah.
And finally, what is your request to Madam President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan as the head of this section?
Yes, my request to my president, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, is based on the FOARA, which she introduced that FOARA rehabilitation, and particularly in rehabilitations, we based on rebuilding. And the rebuilding, and particularly for Tanzania Prison Service, I think we want to change the status which we have, rebuilding this to make reforms. And she introduced the committee for cash flow management, so as to improve the situations which are based on those institutions, basically prisons, police, immigration, and fire. And I think this before, particularly in the building, I think for the case of Tanzania Prison Service, according to the mandate, is to my request to increase the budget, and so as we can work on those missions which we have, and the strategy of the department in improving the agricultural production and the rehabilitation of inmates, so that we can work in a modern way and improve what according to the FOARA as she introduced. Thank you.
Your request to Commissioner General of Prisons Jeremiah Yoram Katungu.
My request to my head of this department is just to utilize those experts in agriculture and in agriculture, and to promote them in their areas, so that they can work and they can provide the skills and knowledge which they obtained from the institutions when they started. Just to support in any means is to work in a good environment. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
It is clear that these Tanzanian prison service experts, being patriots in their nation and working day and night with effort and knowledge, will not only have helped the Commissioner General of Prisons to fully fulfill the responsibilities assigned to him by the government, but also the Tanzanian community will have benefited in one way or another.
We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. Keep the unity.
East Africa.
We are one.
East Africa.
We are one. We are one.
East Africa.
We are one. Keep the unity. We are one.
Tanzania, Uganda.
We are one. We are one.
And South Sudan.
We are one. Keep the unity. We are one.
Tanzania, Uganda.
We are one. We are one.
South Sudan.
We are one. Keep the unity. Our vision is to be a prosperous, competitive, secure,
politically